All right, everyone, welcome in today. Well, today we've got a deck reveal, deck opening, deck look through, but it's not just any deck. It is my Draconic Measures deck from KFC. And so I went to KFC 2025. I was there, and I had a lot of fun. I may do a little breakdown video. I sort of just went to just to go experience it, to go have fun. So we're gonna go through this deck I got for the Draconic Measures sealed event that they had. A really fun event. Well, I say fun. It was fun for some people. Not particularly fun for me. We'll kind of go through the deck I got, and as we go through it, I'll sort of explain how it worked and everything. So, I opened Prasert Brobera Fraud. And it was a Uberos Skyborn Unfathomable deck. Now, I think the Archon art's really cool. It's got these like saw legs, some birds arms. It's pretty cool, It's a cool Archon card. I like it. Not gonna complain. The houses are Skyborn is not really my favorite house. I think they do some interesting stuff with battle lines, and I like when battle lines matter, but not my favorite. Unfathomable, I do like. Big Fathomable fan. Then they have the new Dragon House Uberos as part of the reveal as part of the set. Got the little QR code. There are some new things, like Entrench is a new keyword. Entrench is a new keyword. We got Overwhelmed, which is a new keyword. We got that. So we're gonna go through the deck. So I opened. This is a 27 creature deck. So we've got Lieutenant Char. Sorry, there's a lot of glare on this, and I've spent a lot of time trying to fix it. So we got Lieutenant Chars here. I got 3 of them. 3 Lieutenant Chars. I did get a full art deck, and these full arts look really good. I know there's a lot of concerns about AI art, and they're very valid. And I was one of the ones who was very upset by the fact that Ghost Galaxy may have been using AI art. And I think their response to it at the Meet the Ghosts thing was not, and the response on the game fan was not very convincing. I think their response was that, we use editing tools like in Photoshop, and AI might be part of that, which is not very convincing. Sure, there's generative fill on Photoshop, but you don't have to do that. You can go back to the artist and get the art extended if they're not in the appropriate dimensions, right? So, anyways, the full arts do look good. This is Lieutenant Chars. Really like this one. It looks like it's someone's art just because of the way the face looks, but I'm not certain. We got 3 of them. They're the first thing we're gonna get of Overwhelmed. If you are overwhelmed, steal 2, otherwise capture 1. So obviously, and the overwhelmed is when the opponent has more creatures than you. So it's a catch-up mechanic, at least on a board-based thing. Now this is a really good fight effect if you are overwhelmed. Right? The fight steal 2 is a 4-Ember swing, Ghost Galaxy staple. They love putting 4-Ember swings on just about anything. That's great. Now, when you're most likely to fight is when you are behind on board, right? You fight, especially in a sealed context, you're typically fighting so you can maintain board presence, board dominance. It's not usually something you want to be doing all the time. Obviously, with your overwhelmed to fight steal 2, sure, maybe you do want to be fighting all the time. That's a 4-Ember swing. That's a lot better than reaping. Just a steal 1 is a lot better than reaping. So sure, that certainly incentivizes fighting. And I know Michael Hurley sort of had an answer that they like when they're designing sets to challenge players' assumptions on what is the correct thing to be doing. And I think fighting is one of those things that they certainly could be incentivizing people to do, and make them question whether or not fighting they should fight and where fighting is better. Again, fighting to maintain board dominance. We got 3 of them. They're fine. They're a common. And then we had 2 Deep Blue Brins. These are my spoiler card, so really cool to see to get these, especially in a full art. I think these look really nice. They look great. We know what these ones do. They are after fight steal 1. For blue key is Forge Ward Deep Blue Brin. These are a Treasure Planet. They're Long John Silver from Treasure Planet, but really cool and good effect, right? 2-Amber swing, steal a steal 1 is just really good. That's just good, and then the fact that they're getting warding if the blue key's forged, that's nice, right? So just sort of good value. They're like a stealing Hapsis, and you're not mad about a stealing Hapsis. They're 4 power, so like I get it. They're justifying a very strong fight effect. It's not just draw a card, it's steal one, which is better than drawing a card. So I get it. 4 power. Makes it a little tough. See how much elusive there is and that kind of stuff in the set. We're going to get into some of the actions. We'll go through the creatures, right? The next creature up in common, we've got Gene Parry. And Gene Parry is a cyborg Stormkin that says after Reap, if Gene Parry's on a flank, steal 1. Really good. That's just really good. Good effect. Very solid. That is a 3 Amber Delta. You love to see it. That's just good. We've got Barrel Roll, which I think is really fun. You can do a barrel roll. I think that's really cool. Basically, play. It's got an Amber Pip, which are kind of hard to see with the all arts, but I'll take it for them looking this good. And it's going to action. It says play, move a creature to a flank of its controller's battle line, and exhaust it. And it's my signature move, lay Earl of Hurl. So, not just good. I think that's good flavor text usage. Like it's good flavor text usage. It's a fine effect, right? It's a little bit of tempo creature control, which you're fine with, and it comes with a pip, so it's pretty neutral. And then there are Skyborn related effects that are gonna be important. The next is a creature. We've got Remy Hound. This is the first instance of Entrench, and this one says a dinosaur Halyard, and it says Entrench. Which means it can remain tapped during your. You can choose to keep it tapped at your untapped. Sorry, you can choose to keep it exhausted at your ready card step. And while Remy Hound is exhausted, each friendly flank creature gets 4 power. So if you want to protect your Gene Parry, just make it a little bit more survivable, you can do that. Then you got Cold Ropes, which is pretty good. I think Cold Ropes is good. Basically, it says, got an Amber on it. It says, if you are overwhelmed, put an enemy creature on the bottom of someone's deck. Otherwise, move an enemy creature to a flank with its controller battle and exhausted it. So again, if you're behind on board, this is the kind of stuff you want to see. Fighting when you're behind on board is going to be hard to do. I can confirm it's hard to do. It's hard to get a really good fight effect off when you're behind on board. But Cold Ropes it helps you sort of get back at parity to board, which is good. And bottom of the deck is really good. It's hard to recover from. We got Edge of the World here. This is a Amber Skies edition. Honestly, just a good card. Move creature to a flank of its battling. Separate sentence, steal 1. You like to see it. Then we got Turbo Prop, which is the start of our uncommons. This is a pretty good card. Basically, it's like it's a Doc Bookton, 4 power, 1 armor, and then if your blue's key is 4, draw 2 cards. So, I'm happy to see that. Goes well with my Deep Blue Bryn. Yeah, that's just pretty good. Don't mind that at all, right? Drawing 2 cards on a reap, take it. Next we got Han Peregrine, which is a rare, which is basically like it's a dinosaur Stormkin, clearly like a crocodile. And it says after reap, 6 power, after reap, after fight, you may exalt Han Peregrine. If you do, fully heal a damaged creature, move to either flank of its controller's battle line. So I can't begin to say how mid this effect is. It's kind of interesting, right? It's kind of interesting. The exalting the creature, oof, like that's pretty rough. But now there's going to be some creatures, and I'm sure there's going to be places where it's very relevant. Like you want the Gene Parry, for example, to always be on the flank. So if it gets rearranged, you can just put it back there. And for a Reap Steal one, you'll take an Exalt, right? That's fine, right? That's a fine trade. So instant Amber now. They get Amber maybe later. It gets to survive another turn. So it's going to be niche. It might be good. Like it probably will have some relevance. We're gonna have Hemo Gorith, which is probably one of the best Unfathomable cards in the deck. Definitely the best creature. And it says a 2-power beast that says play. If there are no enemy exhausted creatures, your opponent loses 2 Amber. So basically against any non-entrenched deck with entrenchment, so pre-DM deck, that's gonna go off every single time unless you've ordered poorly. So that's really good. And then yeah, that's just amazing, right? For 2 Amber deletion, happy to see it. So you've got 2 Kinus. One of these actually comes with a +1 power counter pip. This, I presume, is a Keanu Reeves reference. Even kind of looks like John Wick. And it says, play, choose an enemy creature with no +1 power counters on it, exhaust that creature and each of its neighbors. Makes you wonder, do you think Keanu Reeves is a big fan of this game? Do you think Keanu Reeves bought one of the $2,000 likeness ones, and that's their card? Like that this is Keanu Reeves' likeness that he purchased Maybe. We got Brian Reckoning, which is an Amber Pip, and it says, each player discards the top 5 cards of their deck. Just like a 5-card Thalassophobia. Yeah. Yep, that's a card. That does something. It does something. It's a card of all time. We've got a classic, really, really good card here, Abyssal Sight. It looks like they fixed the art on the eye on Abyssal Sight from the GameFound previews with that AI weirdness. So maybe they, I don't know, who knows what happened there. But it says Abyssal Sight's a classic. You know what Abyssal Sight is. It's a play, destroy friendly creature. If you do, look at your opponent's hand and choose a card from it. That player discards that card. Just really phenomenal. Just a great card. Absolutely great card. One of the best Unfathomable cards of all time. Then I've got 3 Knucklers. 3 Knucklers, which is a 3-power, 2-armor beast. And that says it's deploy, which is cool, and entrench. So then while Knucklers is exhausted, each of the neighbors gets +2 armor. So if you didn't want to keep and one of them comes with a +1 power gunner. And if you didn't want to keep them exhausted, they're deploy, so you get the benefit of that amber immediately. So like, let's say, I don't know, we had some fight effects like a Lieutenant Chars. Maybe it's useful, right? Now, we don't want to risk getting the creature making us not overwhelmed. That would be really problematic. So tricky. We've got Addlefish here. I love Addlefish from GR. I actually really like this card. I think it's fun design. I think it's good. After fight, your opponent discards 2 random cards from their hand. I think it's a fair price for a 5-power fight effect. Good. Capo, which is actually pretty interesting. It's gonna be interesting with good cards. Like I don't know if Caup's in the set or anything, but like a Caup. Basically, it's a taunt, 5-power, 1 armor, and it says at the end of your turn, fully heal each of Capo's neighbors. Now, one thing that would have been really cool to see in the set is Deep Priest Glebe. The one that whenever you play an Aquan, you exhaust a creature. Same with Flash Freeze. Flash Freeze would also be a really cool rare to see back from Dark Tidings, so hopefully they've done that. If they haven't, they're idiots. We see Spark Fist, and that is a 2-power Aquan. It says Skirmish, after fight, stun, and exhausted creature Sparkfish fights, and it's got Skirmish. So Sparkfish is actually just really good. I think Sparkfish is great. Good utility when you need it, and it's just a 2-power. Art's sick. It's clearly supposed to be a Mantis Shrimp. Yeah, I actually like Sparkfist a lot. Now we can get into Uberos, which is the Dragon's House. We got full art dragons. Lots of full art dragons. So we got Vanguard Wounds, which is a play, deal 3 damage to a creature. If this damage is draw a card. No Amber Pips on these, which is actually kind of interesting. I totally thought this seems like a card with GG's design philosophy over the past, I don't know, 4 sets. 5 sets, well, I don't know, basically since they've been doing cards. This totally seems like something that would get an Amber Pip. So the fact that it doesn't have an Amber Pip, I like that it doesn't. I think that's good design. It just is surprising is all. Then we got Rhea Bevy Grass, and this is a dragon. It says after fight, after reap, if you are overwhelmed, capture 1 amber for each creature, +1, and then, sorry, if you are overwhelmed, capture 1 for each +1 power counter on friendly creatures. Otherwise, capture 1. I appreciate that the otherwise capture 1 is on there, just so they can guarantee you get at least 1. I think that's good design. And then also it does have scalability, and it provides 3 +1 power counters. So, I don't know, good. I think that's fine. The card's fine. I mean, it's in this day and age, it's like kind of hard to have an after reap, after fight effect, period. But at least 2 power, 2 armor makes it a little survivable. This card, which looks really good. I love the look of this card. I think this is beautiful. And that is Cosmic Rux. It is after a player readies a creature, deal 1 damage to a creature. So like, you need, if you're playing a deck with this, you need +1. You need damage counters. You need so many damage counters because every ready card step is adding 1 to it. And man, does that get really old quickly. It's cool. I'm sure it's great against like tokens, right? I'm sure it's great against tokens, but like, God, is it brutal? Like I didn't have enough damage tokens playing this in sealed, so, but it's cool. We got a Claw Cloak Swipe, and this is play if you are overwhelmed, choose a friendly creature. For each creature your opponent controls in excess of you, the chosen creature captures 1. So scaling capture, that's just nice. Got an Amber Pip, got a +1 power counter from somewhere else. And that's just really good. This card is crazy. Love this card. This card's art, first of all, is sick. Second of all, the effect is really good. It's treachery, so you give it to your opponent, and versatile, so you give it to your opponent can reap with it or fight with it or whatever. And it says, after a friendly creature is used, deal 1 damage to each friendly creature. And that is just phenomenal. Really, really, really good card. Really nasty to give to your opponent, especially because it comes in exhausted, right? There's lots of exhaust effects, so you can keep it exhausted. So no, I actually think this is really good. MVP. Then we got Daring Dealt, which is a 4-power, 1-armor dragon. After fight, gain 1 amber for each ready friendly creature of the active house. So again, really good. You're going to want to be doing this. This is the first thing you do. And 4-power, 1-armor is pretty easy to get a fight off. And yeah, this is bonkers if you can get ready and fight effects. This card is nuts. This card is absolutely nuts. It is Bastion Claw, which is your keys cost -1 for each forge key your opponent has. And that is crazy. Like, that's crazy. Really, really good. 4-power, 1-armor means it's not going anywhere. So, like, that's really good. That's a really, really good card. That is, like, super threat. Forging Key for 5, crazy. Forging Key for 4, crazier. And then we got Noxious Ionics, which is an entrench card. It says at the start of your turn, if Noxious Ionics is exhausted, destroy an enemy creature. Like, cool. Yep, I'll take it. I mean, they get a chance to answer it. I don't mind that. I don't mind the fact that the opponent gets a chance to answer it. But yeah, it is slow, but it is good. Like, that is just good. So then we got Zartu the Swift, whose art, I feel like the art of the dragons is a little all over the place. I don't mind necessarily, but I don't think the house's art isn't exactly coherent. So I don't know, but I think it's fine. And then this is a 5-power dragon. After rebreeding, use a friendly non-dragon creature. So you're gonna use stuff off house. If you're in Uberos, pretty much everything in here is dragons that I've seen. I haven't seen very many, if at all, non-dragons. So we got Horde Gouge. And that said, this creature gains after fight, after reap. If you are overwhelmed, gain 1 amber, deal 1/3 damage to an enemy creature. So again, pretty good upgrade. That's really nice. Just good, right? That's fine. Catch-up mechanic. And then, as a reveal, we got Nizik, who looks absolutely amazing in full art. Like, holy, this card looked good. Now, obviously, this is an anomaly in Worlds Collide, and that's why everyone knows it. People are excited for it. It looks beautiful. Doesn't look like any other card in the set, so it seems really bizarre and out of place in the set. But it is a dragon, and I basically think that was the entire reason they included it, because otherwise it doesn't really make any sense. Now, Nizik, for people who don't remember, is actually a bad card. It's kind of like it's what rare design used to be, and it kind of should be. Basically, Nizik gains invulnerable when it's fighting, which is like, okay, cool. And then after an enemy creature is destroyed fighting Nizik, the Forgotten, return that creature to its owner's hand. So once a creature is destroyed, it goes back to the opponent's hand. Now, and this can happen on the opponent's turn. So if you play this and your opponent has, I don't know, an Infernus out, right? They can run the Infernus into your Nizik and just play it again. It's so bizarre. It's a really bizarre card, but it also is like a really kind of fun, neat niche card. Like, I'd like to see where this card is, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'd like to see where this card's good. Like, when is it better to send the card to their hand rather than the discard? And I think that's very cool, very niche. So, like, in a competitive game, you're probably, I mean, I guess this is fine, right? I mean, but the thing is that, like, even if you got, like, I don't even know. Any good destroyed effects for cards, this is bad. You don't want this on your board. If they don't have good destroyed effects, I guess it's neutral. It's neutral, I suppose. So, yeah, odd. But that's the deck. 27 creatures, and how my sealed went, I opened this thing up at the Draconic Measures sealed. They only gave you 1 deck, which is different than the other events they did. I know they did tokens of change last year, and in GR when I was there in 2023, they gave you 3 GR decks to do, and they did Sealed Alliance with 3 GR. This year was just a single deck Sealed Archon. In my first game, I played against Lord Judo, and they opened a deck that looked pretty decent, and I ended the game with 0 keys, 0 amber to their 3 keys, a lot of amber. And I did nothing in the game except, I think, play creatures, have them either dealt with or, not have good, the fights weren't good. I reaped a couple times. They had their shadows, the Archon's Corner Shadows art card, Louis Compare, and that's like absolutely nuts. It steals 2 at the end of your opponent's turn if you drew more than 2 cards. Sorry, if you drew 2 or more cards. So if you play any cards at all, they steal your amber. So I spent the entire game trying to put out, playing 3 creatures on the board, have them get killed. They'd steal 2 amber of the 4 amber I made all game. And then they were just doing their own thing with a board and actions and stuff. So it was very much not fun for me. I didn't do anything. If you listen to the Bottom of the Beaker podcast, it would have come out. But that was one of the least fun games of Keyforge I have ever played. And it is certainly the least fun game of Keyforge I have played all year, in a couple years. I didn't do anything except play creatures. I did absolutely not a goddamn thing. And yeah, I guess I like when I get to do things. I like when it feels like my decisions matter. And in that particular game, no shade to Lord Judo, they got a cool deck, right? They were doing cool things over there. Their deck looked fine, looked good. I don't know what their record ended up being. If you went 3-0, you got another Draconic Measures deck as a prize. But I was doing nothing. They were playing Solitaire over there. I was playing Spark Fist, Addlefish, right? That's what my turn was, if I even got to do that. And so yeah, that's what my experience was. Really not fun. And then my round 2, I knew this had happened. My round 2 opponent was Willie, and they were sitting next to me at the first round, and they dropped from the tournament in round 1 because they wanted to go have dinner. Totally understandable. No shame to my opponent. No shade at all. Totally get it. Totally fair and reasonable. But for some reason, they didn't drop them. And instead, I got paired against them, and I knew they weren't going to show up. So they told me just, wait 5 minutes and we'll mark it as a win. So, I got a win. So yeah, so I basically, and the games were long, right? Most games, a lot of games went to time in round 1. And I get it, people are reading cards, right? It's the first time anyone's seeing the set. A lot of people are reading cards, thinking together things, taking their time with it. So I had 40 minutes between the rounds, and I didn't have any fun whatsoever the first round. So I just left. I just said, I'm just going to go back to the hotel. Hang on the lobby, hang on in the room, just decompress a little bit. Friday too. Friday was definitely after a full day of travel. Wednesday, really busy day. Thursday with the LCQ, and then Friday was the sealed open. So after a lot of time and just really, really full days, my social battery was done. So that also contributed to why I just went back to the hotel. So that was actually good for me. It helped me get through the weekend to have some time to sort of recharge and decompress a little. Yeah, I don't even think that I think there's going to be a lot of negative stuff about the set coming out. I think because a lot of people, because it was single deck sealed, right? And in single deck sealed, you're going to get stinkers, right? And there's going to be bad matchups. It's going to be lap ups where someone gets a good deck and someone gets a stinker, and it's whatever. And it's fine at a locals to happen. Everyone laughs, have some fun. And we were having fun, right? I don't know. But I obviously got a short end of the stick, right? 27 creatures is nuts. That's so many creatures in any deck. It's rare that those kind of decks get purchased, and there's no efficiency in this deck, right? I've got Vanguard wounds, right? That's the only efficiency in the deck. So with no efficiency in 27 creatures, you're not doing anything. The reason why 27 creature Worlds Collide decks did something, because cards did stuff on play. They were big threats when they were on the board, right? Questor Yardas were big threats back in the day. Odoax were big threats. Dilophosaurus, big threat. In MM, you had stuff like Kirby's, right? Stuff that would accelerated out other creatures. And that's sort of the big thing, right? There's in this deck in particular, and I don't know about the set as a whole, but in this deck in particular, there was no accelerants. So there was nothing that sort of behooved me to play creatures or flood the board quickly. Without that, you're not doing anything productive. And I wasn't doing anything productive, so I'm not going to take this deck as a reflection of the set as a whole. I do think there's a lot of good stuff in the set. And I think as a sealed environment, I actually think the sealed environment is very grindy, which I like. And I actually think the sealed environment is going to be really interesting, especially once we sort of get into it. You know, people get familiar with the set. You know, I think the fact that board is going to matter already matters a lot in sealed. And it's going to matter a lot in here. And they have actually some pretty good catch-up mechanics on the board, right? The overwhelm stuff. So that alone, the overwhelm alone makes sealed an interesting environment. Or maybe it's in a question of whether or not putting more creatures on the board is what you want to do. The answer is probably going to be 99% of the time yes. Putting more creatures on the time is going to be on the board. But anything that gives you a little bit of a pause and makes you think critically about something is a win in my book. So I think the sealed environment's probably going to be fine. I just got on the unlucky end of the stick. I know there's going to be other people too. Okay, I think Orion didn't have a very good deck. It's just going to happen. Right, I played some good decks. Right, I played one of B-Hawk's decks that was good. Right, he went 3-0 with it, and that was fun. It was pretty fun. Right, I got to do a lot more things, so that's fine. And then they played a DM deck as well. Actually, one of the times I played, it was one of my Kagi live matches. I played against Zenzik, one of their Amber Skies decks, and we did adaptive with my Draconic Measures. Oh no, sorry. Was it their Amber Skies? No, it was their Mars. I don't know why. I didn't know why I thought it was. It was their Draconic Measures deck. Yeah. I don't know why I was so confused. And I passed. So we both bid, right? And we both bid on it was best of one adaptive. So we both bid on Zenzik's deck. And I passed Zenzik's deck to them for, I think, 14 chains. And 14 chains is a lot of chains. That's a big discrepancy matchup, right? And I ended the game pretty much the exact same way I ended the first game. I had 0 keys, 0 amber. And that is just insane. The fact that this deck couldn't even do something against a deck that had 14 chains on it, like, god damn, this deck sucks. Like, this deck is trash. So I played on my locals on Monday, and thankfully my local also opened a very trash PV, and we went to heads, and it was actually a fun. That was actually a fun game. That was actually a very fun, kind of tense game going on, and that was pretty fun. So I've had some fun with this deck, and who knows? Maybe it'll be an adaptive staple when Draconic Measures comes out and becomes legal. So who knows? I've done that before with decks. I've had decks where I absolutely hated them, thought they were terrible, and then sort of fell in love with them through adaptive. Shout out Bobbeth the Bright. So who knows? There's lots of homes for decks, and maybe this will find one. For now, it's a pretty unfun Archon deck. Maybe it's a reversal deck too. Maybe that's a thing. So who knows? I don't think so. I think there's too many creatures for a reversal deck. You kind of want like anti-synergy, and I think generally it does do what it wants to do, which is play a bunch of creatures and have nothing happen to them, and yeah. So that's sort of been my deck profile. I'll catch y'all next time. Peace, everyone.